This is a tutorial on using the state indicators of high quality inclusion self-assessment spreadsheet. When you open the Excel file, you will see that you have four tabs down at the bottom. The first tab is the instructions tab. If you do not have four tabs or you cannot see the four tabs, you may need to scroll or adjust your scroll bar. The way that you do this is these three dots here, you adjust them. You can move them to the right in order to see all of the tabs. So if you're seeing something like this, then you have two options. You can use this arrow here to scroll through the tabs so that you see all four, or you can click and hold down your mouse on those three dots there and you can move that scroll bar over. So the first tab is the instruction tab. It has my name and email in case you run into any issues, and it has some instructions on how to do data entry. The second tab is the data entry tab. On this tab, what you'll do here is you will type in the names of the team members who are completing the self-assessment. So you would just type in the name, initial, whatever it is that you want to type there. Then you can tab over and you will get to your first date. So here it says to type in the date. So the date the self-assessment was completed, you would type that in here. And then you would go through each item and indicate if it was one, not in place, two, being planned, three, partially implemented, or four, fully implemented. So you would just enter here, so it's just one and then one. So whatever that scoring is, you would put that in here, and then you would write in any evidence or comments. So if here, this you can type in the date, and then you would just type in the evidence that you have. Um, if you have multiple dates, multiple evidence that you want to put in here, a way to enter, do like a hard enter to get to that second row is on your keyboard. Hold down the Alt key, ALT, that's next to your space bar, and then hold that down, and then your keyboard hit enter, and that takes you to the next line. And so then you can go ahead and put in the date and then put in evidence there, and so on and so forth. So it will self-adjust as you type in more into those cells. So you'll go straight down. So each column is a date for that assessment, and so you'll just go all the way down and you'll put in those those scores. When you're done, you can go and look at your summaries. So summary one at the top has a chart that shows the indicators that are not in place. That's color red. Blue, they're being implemented. Green, partially implemented. And purple, fully implemented. So this just gives you a visual, just kind of showing you um, what the percent of indicators that are being implemented or not in place. That is also in a table form. So what you have here is also here in a table form. And then when you have below that is for each time that the assessment is done, what it's showing you is how many items for each one of those indicators is not in place, being implemented, partially implemented, or fully implemented. And so for indicator one, there are 7 items that are not in place. What are those items? If you look here at this table, the items not in place are 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 through 1, 7. So it shows you which are the ones that are not in place in this table. So as you scroll down, the next date of February 12th, you'll see that there for indicator 1, instead of having 7 not in place, now there's 3 that are not in place and 4 that are being implemented. Which are the 3 that are not in place? 1, 4, 1, 5, and 1, 6. For indicator 2, 3 are not in place, 6 are being implemented. The 3 that are not in place are 2, 4, 2, 8, and 2, 9. And so that's what this shows you over here is the number of item that is not in place. And so that's what you're seeing here. So a number and then which are the actual items. The next summary shows you across all dates what is the average across the items for that indicator. And so before you look at this tab, what you'll want to do every time that you enter data is to refresh the data. And so there's instructions up here on how you do that, but the way you do it is you click on this first, just the outline of this chart. You'll have a tab that says Pivot Chart Analyze. You'll click on that. You'll go to refresh, refresh all. And so now the new data, it updates itself. You can also, sometimes if you just go to data and do refresh all, sometimes that works as well. So you can do both ways. The one thing about this is you can look at just one date, 2 dates, 3 dates. If you want to compare the first date to the last date, you can do that. So it starts off showing you all dates. So if you only want to look at one, you just click on that date and then it shows you. If you have no bars, then it's a 1, it's not in place. 2, that's the next date, and so on. If you want to look at multiple dates, then you can click on these little check marks here for multi-select. Let's say I want to look at, so I start off here. I only want to look at the first and the last date, then you can do that with that multi-select tool. So now you have the first date of the 12th and then the 6th date. So it's showing you both dates. And then remember the 12th, that all of those were not in place. So, here's another example of what that would look like. And then to go back to the default view, you just clear the filter. And then as you click on dates, or as you deselect or select dates, not only does this chart here update, but so does the table below. So the table shows you the dates, the average across all dates, and then the average across all items for that date and that indicator. So what you're seeing here, you're seeing in a table form here. And then here it's just showing you again for this date how many indicators, how many items are not in place, being implemented, partially implemented, and fully implemented. So that is what you're seeing here. But as you select and deselect dates here, this chart updates and so does this table. So that is how you use this spreadsheet. If you have any issues, again, my email is right here. Feel free to send me an email and let me know if you're having any issues or anything, any way that I can help.